Well, welcome back to the solar channel, and specifically the shop here, where you see some things we got here. Again, we are continuing our discussion, and I do consider it a discussion because I don't have answers yet, but I am probing just to see what's possible, what might work. The discussion is about the Lynx Distributor. Reason why we like it so much is it's a nice, neat, compact way to both act as a bus bar and provide fusing and circuit protection for your off-grid RV solar needs, or whatever, or on-grid. Tell you the truth, I mean, Victron uses this stuff everywhere, but for our needs, it's mostly off-grid stuff. You see, this thing here looks very different, and I teased an idea like this for another project. So I'm thinking about my system in my RV, and it's kind of been hodgepodge together over the last 6-7 years while I've been making that thing. And this is really what got me into the solar industry, was building all that craziness. And I want to clean it up, and I'm thinking about, well, how would I do it? Now, our system is a 24-volt system, and the thing I want to stress is this, what I'm talking about here, is really only applicable to lower amp systems, where the maximum amp draw would be somewhere in the 200 to 250 amps, probably even lower. And on mine, it peaks out somewhere around 200 because I'm 24 volt. If you're running a 12 volt system, trying to run your air conditioner, this is out. Not even a possibility. We're not going there. You got to go with stuff like this. As you can see, there's a big size difference here. We've already been over this before, but for any new viewers, there's a big size difference, but we've got almost the same functionality here, okay? I've got some things labeled here. What this is DC distribution, and this is an 18-way DIN rail mounted box. And if you've watched some of our other videos, Airstream does a lot of stuff like this, but they just use thermal breakers, not resettable breakers like this. And so I've taken this a little step further than before, and combining two of these 125 amp DC breakers and joining them together by cut a piece of copper and threaded and tapped and threaded a M8 bolt into it, just like this is all M8 as well. So you can put a main positive in here, and I know this says negative, but we're just going to count it as they're both positive. And then my thought was, well, you take a piece of copper bar like this and notch out spots so it can basically go into the holes in there, and join all the positives together. And then you got a nice, neat package of just your outputs come right here, and they're already protected from overcurrent, and you've got switches. That's the big shortcoming of the Lynx right now, to me, is there's no switches. A lot of times, hey, I want to work on the inverter. Okay, well, you take this nice, neat package. Okay, well, let's add in, like this one, this is a 2 inverter system. Okay, now we need 2 disconnects for that. What if you want to, change out a solar charger or something like that? Okay, well, now you got to add, a switch or something like this, or a switch like this. Something like this, we've already got some circuit protection built into that as well. So then why are you even doing this? It pains me to even think about this, because I love the blue. I do. I'm a true believer. I love this, but for the higher voltage stuff, 24 volt, 48 volt, I'm starting to lean towards trying to make something like this work even more. And I'm going to try and make this work on my own system first and just see what happens. See if anything burns. I think Signature Solar is actually doing something like this. They have one of these for sale, but theirs, it's not an M8. It's got a lug on it, so you can just put bare wire in there. So the other nice thing about this is, we've got room to expand. Pretty much what I've compared here is everything that this would do. Here's what it would take in Victron world. This is expensive, And all these disconnects are expensive. I mean, all this stuff isn't necessarily cheap either. I think these are about 30, 40 bucks a piece. These are 20-ish a piece. But the thing I always think about is, okay, if one of these fuses blows, when's that going to happen? And when are you going to be changing it? I feel like it's almost always middle of the night. It's dark, it's windy, it's raining, you're trying to crawl in some cramped compartment. For as easy as we try and make these to change, you got to get out a socket set. You got to change that fuse, you got to test it. Or, all right, inverters are working again. You know? Even if, so these are 125 each, so that means we're supposed to fuse a 24 volt inverter at 200. Well, that means this is only getting 125. But it's got a C charge curve, or the C rate, which I believe means it won't pop right away. As soon as the C's over 125 amps, it doesn't just pop instantly. It's got a minute or two of kind of fudge factor, let's say. So that means you can start up your air conditioners, you can do all that kind of stuff, run an air conditioner and a microwave, and if you peak over that just a little bit, no big deal. But it will pop to protect the wires and all that sort of stuff. Geez, I'm rambling here. I'm rambling. But I want to know more of your thoughts on this as I continue to explore this. I mean, tell you the truth, we've even thought about, I know we've talked about, manufacturing a lot of different stuff. And the truth is, we are extremely busy right now. And I am also extremely ADHD. See, I was diagnosed before the H was added. I just can't not play around with this. This is the other thing, is like, how cool would this be just to have a little place to plug in all your little stuff, whereas with this, all my little stuff ends up going on these lugs or something, for the servo, for the battery, the shunt, the battery monitor, all the little stuff. There ends up being, I think, about 3 lugs on here, or 3 terminals on here, and 2 on this one, and it just kind of starts to get a little messy in there. I mean, this certainly would be very messy. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention, geez, I'm all over the place today, is let's be fair here. This is only handling the positives. What do we do with the negatives? Well, we would have to use something like this somewhere. It could be external here, which is probably makes the most sense. But maybe if I can find a bigger box, or maybe there's a way to stick it in here, or slide all that stuff over, put it in there like that, and all this, could be contained with raceway, and you'd never really see it anyway. And it just, again, you end up with potentially something that looks like that, and it replaces the functionality of that. All right, what do you guys think? I think that's enough for our little Sunday discussion, shop talk. I don't know. We got to give a name for this segment. I'd like to do more of these. I'd love just talking about this kind of stuff, thinking about ideas. This is something we'll solve together. All right, thank you to all of you that comment, continue to watch, subscribe, all that stuff. Check you guys later. Bye.